It was a Sunday night on June the 6th of 1999. My husband and I were in bed, and Teresa had gone out to go pick up some friends to give them a ride home. She had taken her girlfriend with her. We received a phone call about 11 o'clock from her girlfriend and from a nurse that were hysterical on the phone and screaming that Teresa had been shot. We quickly got dressed, went down to Queen of Angels Hospital. Before we entered the emergency room, we saw her car, and we saw the bullet hole through her car door, and we also saw some more bullet holes around the car. I went in there, and there was the two boys that were there and the girlfriend were covered with blood. And what happened was that as they were leaving the area after picking up the two boys, they were making a U-turn to go back on Melrose Boulevard in Hollywood. This guy on foot came out with a powerful weapon, started shooting at my daughter's car, and as he shot her through her car door, and the bullet entered her left side of her torso, and as the car was rolling down the street, she told her girlfriend she couldn't breathe, and she was like basically paralyzed. And the shooter continued to follow her down the street, actually running down the street as her car was rolling, and continued to shoot. Some of the bullets ending up in the homes where children were asleep. And after 5.5 hours of surgery, she was given 14 pints of blood, and that couldn't save her life. She passed away.
Hello everyone, I'm Maggie Rodriguez in Florida.
I'm Harold Gray, and here's what's making news at 5:30. Another senseless killing late last night as that young woman was driving with her friends near Los Angeles City College. She was gunned down. Eyewitness News reporter Leslie Price joins us live at the scene with the latest on this tragic story. Leslie?
Well, Harold, police have a pretty good description of that suspect, but they are asking for your help in identifying him. The victims were in a car right here on Commonwealth. Out of nowhere, the suspect walked up and opened fire. Teresa Del Rio was entering the prime of her life. She was 20 years old and had just enrolled in Glendale Community College. But last night, Del Rio was shot to death while driving with 3 friends on the 600 block of Commonwealth Avenue. She was an only child.
And I'm very angry because here you have a person walking the streets. He's not in the car, he's walking the streets, and he has a gun on him.
You know, it's very difficult to lose your only child. And the irony of this whole murder and the situation is that my daughter didn't know the person. He didn't know her. The only relationship was that she was driving down the street with her girlfriend and 2 other passengers, and he happened to be on the street.
The shooter was well known by the LAPD who he was. They hadn't been able to capture him after 2 murders. And that's what he does. He's a shooter for gangs, and he is territorial, and he's evil.
You're not safe in your own home. You're not safe in your own country. The violence, gun violence, is endemic in the United States, and it's probably of all of the maladies that affect this nation, probably that is one of the worst.
A plate and a napkin? Welcome. Napkin, oh, juicy, very
Roberto Franklin Ramirez ambushed and shot my 20-year-old daughter, Teresa, while she was driving her car in Los Angeles in 1999. Ramirez was also a suspect in the second murder the year before. Ramirez was also a suspect in a third murder, the case of a 16-year-old, and had attempted to murder 3 others. His violent sprees were well known. Even though there were witnesses, it seems that there was not enough evidence to take him to trial. Roberto Franklin Ramirez received a plea bargain in December 2010, and not the death penalty as my husband and I suspected. Since his killings, he is serving time in a Sacramento prison for the offense of voluntary manslaughter and the use of a gun in Teresa and the second murder victim's case. He will be eligible for parole in 2024. If not parole, then he will do 6 more years and then be released back onto our streets in 2031. He will be in his early 50s. The gun was never found, which makes me believe that Ramirez had help. We believe justice was not served.